Hi everyone, Andrew London here with Kirsten.
Hi.
Welcome to Live at the London's, direct from the home office. It's great to be here again, which is just as well, because we can't go anywhere else. It's actually a cup of tea time here at the London's. It wasn't, but we had to have a stop and have a cup of tea because we already did the show once and got halfway through it and discovered that the technical team had let us down and the camera wasn't on. It's not the first time this has happened, actually. Last episode, the technical team forgot to turn the sound on. So we're having a lot of trouble with them at the moment. Heads will roll. But look, hey, thanks for tuning in again to this episode 3. It's fantastic. We're having a lot of fun doing this when we don't have problems with the technical team. And thank you so much for all your emails and your messages of support and your contributions to the lockdown isolation blues. We now have hundreds and hundreds of verses and choruses to choose from, and we'll do some later on in the show, obviously. And also, very sincere thanks for your donations to our virtual tip jar. There don't look like there'll be any gigs coming our way in the near future for a few weeks anyway. So we appreciate that very much. Right, now to get on with the show, the first thing we always do is we play a little song, something small, short, and bracing in order to get ourselves in the zone. So we're going to do this one. The pace of life is getting faster every day. I turn around, it's past, I don't know what to do. Get myself in quite a stew. Nothing seems the same as it once was. I'm feeling out of place, and it's because I can't keep up. I can't keep up. My friends don't call me anymore, they never knock upon my door, they text me, it's terrific, but they write in hieroglyphics, and I reckon I could bake a shepherd's pie.
Shepherd's pie?
In half the time it takes me to reply, I can't keep up, I can't keep up. They laugh at me and tell me that the interweb is where it's at, they blog it and they tweet it, they get spam, I suppose they eat it, they say I need a YouTube book in space, in case someone should Google on my face, I don't know, I can't keep up. The world is going crazy, I feel old and obsolete. I don't recognize the characters on Coronation Street. I can't keep up, I can't keep up. Now there's email and there's Gmail. I get hotmail from a she-mail. A nice chap in Nigeria who's going to make me seriously rich sent my password yesterday. Now the bank declined my Visa card today. I can't keep up, I can't keep up. And I went to tape a TV show last night. I tried all my remote controls, but I can't make it work. Then my neighbour, what a jerk, he's at my door in just his dressing gown, complaining that his garage door keeps going up and down. I can't keep up. The world is going crazy, I don't know where I'm at. Doctor Who is getting younger, Captain Kirk is getting fat. I can't keep up, I can't keep up, I can't keep up, up. It does miss, I do miss James. The James Tate Jameson slide whistle is missing there. It's such a pity. Such an become an integral part of the song. Now, as I said before, we've had lots and lots of requests, and probably more for this next song than any other. It's called "My Daughter's Got a Boyfriend." It's our little hip hop song. Mm-hmm. We're trying to get into the hip hop market and distance ourselves a little bit from the hip operation market. That's a little joke there. So we need a little sign, don't we? A little sign. Applause. Yeah. Ripple of applause. Yeah. Titter, polite titter. Groan? Groan. Okay. Okay. My daughter's got a boyfriend. Once again, it's a shame JTJ isn't here to help us with this because he does fabulous beatbox effects in the middle of this. But we're going to have lashed it anyway, and we'd like to do it especially for Meg and Mike Collins and Al and Yvonne Bregman, all up at Bruce McLaren in Howick, at the village up there, the Ryman village, Bruce McLaren, where we've played a few times. So I hope that you guys are enjoying yourselves up there. And our mates, Pete and Carol, rock and roll dancers, come to a lot of our gigs. It's for you guys. Our very, very dear friend Laura Collins, likes this one too. Cool. This for you, my fellow Too Many Chief. Eleanor Bensaman down in Waikanae. Sorry, I put your crook last week, Eleanor, by claiming you were from Tauranga, which you weren't, of course. You're from Waikanae, which has excellent internet, unlike Tauranga, of course, which, as we know, has rubbish internet, apparently. And Julie Parsons, this is for you, Julie, and also Velda and Morris Mitchell down in Westport. Hi, guys. And hi to everyone on the West Coast, and especially Velda and Morris, and we will remember that lovely gig at the Barrytown Hall down there just north of Greymouth. Yeah. Okay. My daughter's got a boyfriend. My daughter's got a boyfriend, not particularly blessed. With intellect, it seems he still has trouble getting dressed. His trouser legs are frayed, he wears them halfway down his bum. Sometimes we yell out fire just to watch him try and run. Try harder, dear, my wife says, try bonding with this lout. So I loosen up my belt and let my wife runs flap about. My daughter's got a boyfriend and we like to shoot the breeze. Two good old homeboys rapping without trousers round our knees. My daughter's got a boyfriend, he speaks a strange argot, a peculiar sort of English, not a dialect I know. Yo's up, he says, and I agree, the interest rate is high, so I offer him a drink, he seems a chatty sort of guy. Red, he says, why sure, says I, this Merlot's hard to beat. Sure bro, he says, and so of course I offer him a seat. My daughter's got a boyfriend, and we get along just fine. He doesn't speak much English, but he seems to know his wine. My daughter's got a boyfriend, so I'm learning about the young. He's got an earring through his nostril and a cufflink through his tongue. The nuts and bolts in each eyebrow do wonders for his grin, and a little chain connects each ear to a corkscrew in his chin. I don't mind his appearance, but it does alarm my wife. He resembles nothing quite so much as a big Swiss Army knife. My daughter's got a boyfriend, and once we tune him in, on a clear night we can pick up 2XS from Palmerston. My daughter's got a boyfriend, a magnetic sort of chap. I suppose that if she dumps him, we can sell him off for scrap. Lovely. Okay, thank you. Yes, I'm imagining a titter of applause. Just, just a Mexican wave, a small Mexican wave. Yes. Right. Now, I've got, you won't be able to see this, but there are bits of paper sellotaped all up over the walls here behind the computer with a little, with my script on it, but I keep losing it. There it is. Oh, it's time for the lockdown isolation blues.
Most excellent.
Now, what happened last time was that by sheer coincidence, all the verses that I chose had been sent in by girls. So I thought this time we'd redress the balance a bit because we're an equal opportunity gender neutral organisation. So we're going to have all verses this time sent in by the boys. The first verse from Brian Christensen, Lower Hutt. G'day, Brian. The second two by the legendary El Drifto, Bob Hines, 22 Varieties from Christchurch. Thank you, Bob. The third verse, bit disturbing, to be honest, and dramatic, from Stephen Legg in Palmerston North. You'll see what I mean when we get there. Yeah. And then the last chorus from Joe Glover. Not sure if it meant to find its way to us, actually, Joe. Your wife Ruth sent it in. So hope you enjoy it. Okay. the Lockdown Isolation Blues, episode 3. Well, I've got them lockdown isolation blues. Oh, I got them lockdown isolation blues. Can't go outside my bubble, 'cause I don't get them COVID flus. Well, I woke up this morning, made my old gal a brew. Tried to think of date man, but I just didn't have a clue. 'Cause every day's like Sundays was in 1952. Well, I woke up again this morning, considering her cup of tea. And I got shaken into action by a local 4.3. There ain't nothing like an earthquake. Get your mind off Corona V. Then I got sent down to the garden, but my wasp swarm I got stung. Wife found me in a coma. Yeah, had to dial up 111. Can't even go outside now, and lockdown's much less fun. True story. But I got them lockdown isolation blues. Yeah, them lockdown isolation blues. Thank God for online shopping, so I can stock up on some booze. There we are, the Lockdown Isolation Blues, episode 3 version. Now, there are some people there that get special points. Bob Hines obviously gets special points because he started each of those verses, did you notice, with woke up early this morning. That's what we call authenticity points.
Just woke up this morning, yes.
Yeah, we probably did, but you know, but that's a really authentic blues thing, you know. If you had in there, my woman done me wrong as well, they'd get more points. But just for starting each verse with woke up early this morning, you get double points, and also extra points, Bob, for providing us with a bit of local news, which is very sought after these days. We like to get a bit of local news. So I'm sorry to hear about the earthquake, you know, a bit unsettling, but thank you for letting us know. That's good. And of course, Stephen Legg in Palmerston North gets special news points as well for sending us a slightly disturbing story about being stung by all those wasps. So I hope you're getting better. But yes, you know, actual true stories are what we want here. True snippets, vignettes of the vicissitudes of life, of little cut from life's rich tapestry. How's that for a mix of metaphors? It's pretty good, isn't it? So that was great, yeah. And nice last verse there from Joe Glover on the theme of drinking. Once again, we do get a lot of those. I don't know whether it's something to do with you people out there, or whether it might be us people in here.
Us people.
But thanks for that, Joe. Very good. Now, next thing we do is we're going to do 40 Winters, and I'm just going to tell you who's asked for that while I cunningly and very efficiently retune my guitar just a little bit, because I'm putting this capo on. Now, this has been requested by Peter and Sue Farrell. Remind me to just turn my guitar back on once I've retuned. So Peter and Sue Farrell have asked this one, guys. So I hope that you enjoy this, and also Garth and Angie, our very good friends Garth and Angie up at Whakaipo Lodge. Now, once this lockdown business is finished, if the borders are still shut, we will of course be all having to holiday within New Zealand.
Yes.
And there's nowhere better that you could go than Whakaipo Lodge at Whakaipo Bay, back of Acacia Bay, just out the back of Taupo. Angie and Garth run that, and they will treat you like kings if you go up there. So we'd like to do this for them as well, and also Betty Patterson and her son Nigel. Nigel, tell you a bit more about Nigel later on, but it was Nigel who played the trumpet on the original recording of this. And we'd like to do it for Catherine and Trevor as well, our friends in Auckland, because Catherine has played the trumpet with us on this song as well. So,
And it's about Nigel's uncle.
It is. I thought I'll tell you a bit more about that, about the song when I finish it, because I'll have to have something to talk about while I retune the guitar again. Awesome. Cunning, eh?
Cunning.
I just
Very
thought of
cunning.
that.
Yeah.
All right. Made a man seem like an ordinary man in a town I hardly knew, and we got talking as two men I want to do over a pint or two. I asked him what he did to occupy his time, and got around it on my cue. He said, I'm a working man whose working life is through, and I long laid down my tools. But do you see them brick and mortar houses down along the street? They're lying so straight and true, and all them garden walls standing in between. Well, that's what I used to do. He said, 40 winters I've spent upon my knees, laying them bricks along a straight string line. 40 winters I worked to build this town that stands on the banks of the River Tyne. He said, I'm a lucky man, 'cause I married young, you see. She never asked for more than I could be. And there was always work for a careful man like me, so I paid my rent, fed my family. And we worked down by the river, where the shipyards used to be, and under the crane down Walker Quay, and on the pubs along the Scotswood Road, where the working men like me be just coming out of the Armstrong factory. And he said, 40 winters I've spent upon my knees, laying them bricks along a straight string line. 40 winters I've worked to build this town that stands on the banks of the River Tyne. He said, I'll be going now, 'cause my Vera is making tea. We live right next door, you see. And then he shook my hand, thanked me for the beer, and he started up to leave. And I saw that his back was bent, he could not stand upright for the stick that he held in each of his weathered hands. But as he left, I saw him turn to take the view of the brick and mortar houses, but they're lying so straight and true. And I heard the words of a working man whose working life is through. He said, 40 winters I've spent upon my knees, laying them bricks along a straight string line. 40 winters I have worked to build this town this town that stands on the banks of the River Tyne. He said, 40 winters I've spent upon my knees, laying them bricks along a straight string line. 40 winters I have worked to build this town. There were times we'd chip the ice away before we laid them down. 40 winters I have worked to build this town that stands on the banks of the River Tyne. This town that stands on the banks of the River Tyne. 40 winters. Yes, so I wrote that, as Kirsten alluded to earlier, after we spent a very pleasant evening, one of many pleasant evenings that we spent at Nigel and Ali's house down in, I'll just mute that, thank you, down in Waikanae. Nigel's very
hospitable.
Very hospitable.
Lovely evening.
Totally, and very talented musician who recorded some trumpet on the recording of that song for us. The evening that I referred to, Nigel and Ali were hosting Nigel's uncle Wayne and his wife, who were from Newcastle on Tyne, and had not ever visited New Zealand before, and Nigel hadn't seen them for 42 years, since he was 9 years old. So it was a bit of a reunion for them, obviously. And I got talking to the old boy, lovely old fellow, and he described his 45-year career as a bricklayer in Newcastle on Tyne. It's so hard to say, isn't it? And that's where that came from. And by sheer coincidence, and I haven't told Kirsten this yet, but this is an incredible coincidence, this morning I got an email from Betty, Nigel's mum, with a poem that Nigel's just written whilst in lockdown down in Waikanae, and I'm going to recite it because it's terribly good, and I like it. Are you ready?
Ready.
As a lockdown Kapiti coaster, I've been talking to the toaster on a friendly-only basis about the isolation status, and I'm looking for some lovin' from this young, attractive oven, but the couch in black leather said pull yourself together, and the curtains couldn't agree more. If I lay my head on the bathroom scales, could I weigh it? If a zebra walks across Abbey Road, would you see it? If I spoke in a forest and no one could hear me, would it make a difference? It's shopping day tomorrow. Think I'll wear the mask of Zorro while I'm standing in the queue, so I better leave the horse with you.
Very good.
Nigel quietly going out of his mind there down in Waikanae. So good on you, mate.
With all
Thank
the
you.
appliances.
It was brilliant. Yeah, keep your eyes off that toaster.
Yeah.
Now, okay.
Guitar.
Oh, yes. Yeah, thank you, darling. Good. Okay. Newish song.
Okay. Not really new.
No, we have done this two or three times.
Just hasn't been recorded.
Just haven't got it right yet. So, and it hasn't been recorded, no. But we're going to give it a shot.
Give it a lash.
Yes, give it a lash. Okay. Oh, and this is for some people. Oh, yes, Pete and Carol once again. Daphne Lim. Hi, Daph. You asked for this one. This is for you. And our very good friend, Roz.
Oh.
Roz up in Auckland. Hi, Roz. Steve, nice to see you again. Or be seen by you, I should say. Oh, are you ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I'm camping or I'm tramping through the desert or the bush, or sitting in my office on my sedentary tush, I need a little pick-me-up once the hunger pangs set in. So I go searching for the toaster and the Waddy's baked bean tin. And there's an ecumenical consensus now, it's rumoured even that amongst the followers of Buddha, Jesus Christ and Mahomet, there's unanimous agreement on the rules concerning how they should be ate. And it's customary to always find the toast between the baked beans and the plate, which is why I raised my eyebrows at a cafe I was in, took a picture and put out a Facebook post, for I felt sure that I should share my indignation and chagrin at finding beans, you won't believe this, residing underneath my toast. Oh, we call it beans on toast, it says exactly what it means. It's a universally accepted thing. You don't get toast on peanut butter, toast on eggs or on sardines. The beans go on the top, I told the waiter, no one asks for toast on beans. Well, some do, said the simpleton and sneered a little sneer, and it occurred to me to offer him a clip around the ear as I pondered his preposterous proposition, plainly potty and perverse, that any punter could prefer his beans on toast with the ingredients reversed. Some, I said, some? Who are these some who could converse this classic dish with its components incorrectly juxtaposed? Why, not even an Australian could so ridicule the culinary arts and so callously corrupt the constitution of those core constituent parts. Ah, we call it beans on toast, it says exactly what it means. It's a universally accepted thing. We don't get toast on peanut butter, toast on eggs or on sardines. The beans go on the top, you pelican. No one asks for toast on beans. Well, I pointed out the obvious, that it has to do with sauce, that the beans are all mixed up in, so it's runny, duh, of course. That's why it works so well, you unctuous prat, to lay the toast down first. For you'll find that it's an excellent absorbent once in baked bean sauce immersed. And transposition can be tricky if the toast is on the top. You've got to shunt the baked beans sideways and then attempt to slop them on the toast, which is inevitably messy, and you'll find they get cold fast. And that's why when it comes to serving beans on toast, you put the bloody things on last. Oh, we call it beans on toast, says exactly what it means. It's a universally accepted thing. You don't get toast on peanut butter, toast on eggs or on sardines. The beans go on the top, you troglodyte. No such thing as toast on beans. There's no such thing as toast on beans. There's no such thing as toast on beans. Not bad, yes, okay, good, all right. Whoa. Okay, toast on beans, beans on toast. Ah, yes, right, now you'll be glad to hear it's time for the roll on the floor laughing section, where you send in jokes and I run them past Kirsten and she rates them from 1 to 10, 1 being pathetic and sad, not very funny at all, and 10 being roll on the floor laughing so hard that we have to stop the show and restart it. Okay?
Okay.
So, I'm not going to tell you who sent these in,
No.
because that would be unfair.
Yes.
I'm just going to...
Just yes.
I'm just going to tell them to you, and you're going
Okay.
to try and find them funny. Okay? Here we are. You ready? I went to a meeting of the Flat Earth Society last night. They've got branches all around the globe. See? That's quite funny, isn't it?
That's quite
Quite
funny,
funny?
yes,
What would you give that?
7.
7. You liked that? That's the highest yet. That is the highest score yet. Well done, whoever set that one in. I can't remember who it was. Okay, you ready? Second one. We've had off to a good start. Quarantine. Oh, my darling, quarantine. Quarantine day 25. Went to this restaurant called The Kitchen. You have to gather all the ingredients and make your own meal. I've got no idea how this place can still be in business.
Yeah.
Okay.
4.
Yeah, it was quite funny,
Yeah.
but not quite as funny as okay, excellent. Right. Classified ad: single man with toilet paper seeks woman with hand sanitizer for good, clean fun.
5.
5. Oh, no, I thought that's pretty generous. Okay. 2 women on the phone. What do you miss most about life pre-lockdown? Golf. Golf? Yes, I miss my husband going to golf.
6.
A 7 and a 6.
Yeah.
It's a very good result, actually. That's much higher than last time. And I think Andrew Richardson sent that. I got that last one from him. So thanks, Andrew. Very good drummer in Wellington, splendid fellow. Excellent. Okay. Now moving on, we've into our next request. We've had a request for the Middle Class White Boy Blues, which we're going to do for you. Going to do a lot of blues. This,
it's very bluesy,
it's
isn't
quite
it?
Quite a bluesy. This is quite a bluesy episode.
Right.
This one.
Yeah.
This is for Eleanor again, in Waikanai again, not Tauranga again. And also Greg and Fleur from over in Napier. Hi guys, this is just for you, a couple of good middle class white people over there in Napier. So this is Middle Class White Boy Blues. Usually takes me about 25 minutes to introduce this song, but I won't even bother, I don't think. I think we'll just play it. You've all heard it probably 150 times, as have I. I like to be a blues man, but I don't live a blues man's life. Yes, I would like to be a blues man. Finger got stuck. I don't live a blues man's life. I got a good job in the city and a faithful dog and wife, at least as far as I know. I don't drink no rot gut whiskey, prefer a Hawke's Bay Pinot Gris. Yeah, don't ride a freight train to Chicago, no gyro moonshine on my knee. When I catch the unit up to Pycock, I take a thermos full of tea. I woke up late this evening to find nobody been and gone and done me wrong. I had to ask my wife to leave me just so as I could finish off this song. Think I'll go lay me down and nap, yeah. Got a 5-bedroom house in Brooklyn, that's an Audi in the drive. Yeah, I got apartments down on the waterfront, from which a not inconsiderable amount of income is derived. I got a midlife crisis looming, thank God my Harley just arrived. All right. Told the devil down at the crossroads, man, you can have my soul today. He said, well, I guess I may as well, son, 'cause you sure don't use it when you play. Think I'm gonna lay me down and nap. Yes, I would like to be a blues man, but I don't wear no blues man shoes. Yes, I would like to be a blues man, but I don't pay no blues man dues. I just haven't got enough to moan about. Got the middle class white boy blues. You know what I'm talking about. Haven't got enough to moan about. I got them low down. What key we in? Middle class, young, upwardly mobile, urban professional. Think I'll become an MP and then I can do what I like and not obey the same lockdown rules as everybody else. Middle class, white boy blues. Middle class white boy blues. Okay, right. And that brings us to it brings us to terrifying new song time. Now I just wrote this yesterday and put the words somewhere. Oh, there they are. Right, good. Yes, another bit of sellotape on the front of the desk there. So I'm writing a short song every fortnight for my very good friend Alan Tristram. Alan runs the Kapiti Independent News, which is the most excellent online news platform. Kapiti Independent News, go and check it out. And Alan's going to put I'm going to record one of these every couple of weeks for Alan. And he's generously allowed me to give this one a bit of an
earring.
An earring?
Yeah.
An earring, yeah.
An earring.
Yeah. Before it actually gets on the site. So this will be on the Kapiti Independent News site. And I'd like to dedicate this to all our American friends out there who are having a pretty hard time of it.
I reckon.
Yeah.
Especially New York.
Yeah. Especially New York. Yeah, so let's do this for anyone we know in New York. Okay. Are we ready? Yeah. 3, 4. It's not a virus, not a hoax. The Chinese one. No, that's not right, because it is a hoax, isn't it? You have to make me start that again because it's very new. It's very new. I'll just do the diddle. We might actually edit this.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. It's not a virus. It's just a hoax. A Chinese one. Believe it, folks. Well, it might be a virus, but it's not contagious. I've known everything about it now for ages. Well, it might be contagious. We don't know. Obama knew all about it, and he won't tell us. So ignore the governor. He's just a jerk. Liberate your state. Get back to work. So China made it. That's not fake news. Oh, and the Democrats, they knew it too. There is no panic. There is no queuing. And everybody says how well we're doing. 'Cause we were ready. I saw it coming. And this economy, I gotta keep it humming. So ignore the governor. He's just a jerk. Liberate your state. Get back to work. I have the best words, and I'm really smart. I want the best for you. Hand on my heart. It's the Mexicans and the Chinese took your work. You got a right to get a gun and go berserk. So even if you're old and you get the COVID-19 virus, vote for me. Before you die, respect the governor, even though he's a jerk. Liberate your state. Get back to work. There we go. Okay. Little song there, which will pop up on the Kapiti Independent News site. Now, we have time. No, we don't.
No.
Do we have time? That's it.
That's it.
That's it. We deliberately made that the last song.
That's
yeah.
right.
Okay.
Yes.
Look, that's it for us this week. But it's looking like this is a weekly thing, so we'll do another one next week. We'll do episode 4, and please keep sending in your contributions. We want want some more jokes to try and impress Kirsten with. She's a very hard room, I have to say, a difficult room.
I like the flat earth one.
This is quite good. There are branches all around the globe. It is very, very good. And what was I going to say? Thank you. I'll keep if you want to write some more verses or poem. We've had some really nice contributions or submissions for the lockdown isolation blues, which don't really fall into the template of a blues template, but I'm going to read some of them out in future episodes just as poems, because they're very literally, you people out there, you're literal. You're literary. That's what you are. You're literary out there, and we love it. So keep sending them in. And once again, thank you so much for the donations to the tip jar. The information regarding how you can do that is on the front page of my website, andrewlondon.co.nz, as are this week's verses and choruses of the Lockdown Isolation Blues. Is that all? Send us in some jokes and take care of yourselves.
Yeah.
And we'll look forward to being back with you in episode 4. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.